Welcome to Smellbad's Gaming. We are here at Outpost Zimonja, and this is our next Let's Build location. In this episode, we're basically, first of all, going to try and move this brahmin, who's very stubborn, but there's always a way in these building videos, and as you can see, you can bully them out of the way and finally move the trough so that it's not where you want to build everything. But in this episode we're going to set up some water, some power, and the initial setup for the food. It's not particularly challenging at this stage. There's a few little gotchas. Trying to get the water as close to the building as one of them. We will end up with 33 water and about 36 food, and whatever power we need. We will have plenty of room for power, as you will see shortly. But what we want initially is to get this water as close to the building so that we can protect it from attacks. Now the best way to do that is with the concrete pillar. The lovely concrete pillar. It is always so beneficial to use. There's almost no situation that you can't solve, even on the PS4, with the concrete pillar. It's just a matter of trial and error, getting it close. As you can see, you can move things around really easily with it. But it does need to be a little bit lower in the ground so you've got more options. Yep, there we go. And just now, something has changed. And I don't know what patch it was, but certain objects, and these pillars on the existing building are one of the types of objects that seem to really not want stuff to be slid into them. They do not allow clipping into them very well. And I've tried it with rug and a concrete pillar and a combination of the rug and concrete pillar, and it still will not work. So they've clearly changed something, because it used to work. It used to be very easy for things like this, just to basically where that second pillar is to the left, we would have been able to push it all the way through, but not anymore, unfortunately. But it's close enough. It gives us room to build a nice floor above it, which is what we're going to be doing, and on top of that floor will be the power. So here we go, figuring out whether it will actually fit, and yep, I'm pretty sure that will fit. So we need to put it down and use our lovely concrete pillar again. Without those concrete pillars this would be almost impossible. In fact, Wasteland Workshop, I think before that on the PS4, the stuff that we do now in builds would have been impossible. Or at least I found it impossible. I don't recall seeing anyone that has done the type of stuff that you can do now prior to Wasteland Workshop. It added so much scope to what you can do without mods. And of course this is without mods, because even when we get mods on the PS4, they're not going to be really mods. They're just little tweaks here and there. No external assets, no special scripts. To be honest, I don't see the point in having them. Most of the mods that you use, particularly in building, like Place Anywhere and so on, very unlikely to work like they do on the PC, if they work at all. Things like the one that scraps everything in your settlement, I believe that is also not going to work because it requires a script, as far as I can tell from my research. So basically, yeah, what's the point? You're basically saying that you got mods, but you don't really have mods. Anyway, that's not what this video is about. What we're going to do is build a nice little platform here for our power. And I realised after trying to put one up that I couldn't clip the other one in, so I took it down and put two together, getting ready to move the whole lot in and slide it as close to the concrete block wall, the brick wall, sorry, as we can above the water supply. And we want to try and get it as close to the wall as we can, so that's why we're using this corner. And yep, there we go. We've got to try and position it. It will stay red for a lot of the time, but eventually you'll get it sort of, yeah, there it goes, it sort of flash green. And you sort of make it go red into the wall and then slowly push it out, and it works really well. There we go. And just slight tweak the position, get it in place, and are we ready? Yep, there we go. And as you can see, we've got nice room above the pumps so that we can run our power, because we haven't put power in yet, even for the pumps. There's only the existing power that came with the settlement. And then we want to put a bit of protection. Now, eventually there will be complete protection around these water pumps, but we're just playing around now, trying to get basic protection from one side. Once we're ready, we will put protection around all of it, and obviously once all the cabling is in place, because you don't want to do it before then. And that should mean, as long as you are at the settlement, the attackers won't be able to hit your water supply. And also I will be doing the same for the power, which is going above this on the floor space that we've just created. And as long as you're here at the settlement, they can't actually damage it. However, if you are not here and the settlement loses, which it's most likely going to, I believe there's still a bug in how settlements defend themselves. It's supposed to be that if you've got 150 defense, that is 150 defense or thereabouts, it should basically win. But that's not how it works in my experience, and I have done extensive settlement tests on the PS4. What still seems to happen is it's random. It is a 50-50 chance. You could have 500 defense and you've still got a 50-50 chance of winning or losing, and that is just not really good. I personally think that is one of the fundamental problems with settlement building. The attack algorithm, the thing that the system uses to work out whether or not a settlement wins or loses when you're not there, is broken. And it's still broken despite many things from Bethesda saying that it's not broken. It is broken. It doesn't matter if you've got walls, it doesn't matter if you've got laser turrets or mines or whatever. If you are not there to defend your settlement, it's a random chance, absolutely random, whether or not you will win or lose. And to me, that is one of the fundamental problems. So here, anyway, back off my rant. I do rant when I'm building, because, you know, it's very frustrating when you go to all this effort and it's nice eye candy, but at the end of the day, unless you can fast travel to the settlement being attacked, it doesn't really make a difference. So using the old rug glitch, we get plenty of rugs put down, probably not in the ideal space, but what we want to do is get as many power generators of these small ones, you may note. I could probably put, I think I've got enough, no I don't. I don't have enough science yet to build the fusion generators, and I probably don't have the materials. But you can get a great deal of power with these little mini, the small generators, and you can slide them in, and each board, each floor plate of 2x2 can take, what is it, 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah, it can take 16 generators, which is 48 power. So it's quite a lot of power in a small area. And the other cool thing is, if one goes out, so what? You've still got all the others, whereas if you've got one generator, you've got no redundancy. So there is advantages to using the small generators, because, you know, they're small, they only generate 3, they're much more efficient than both the medium and the large generators. So yeah, especially when you consider the space they take up. So we can get 48 on this one floor piece, and if we really wanted to, we could go one level up and get another 48. That's nearly 100 power in the same space that a large generator, that, what is it, 15, 10, I can't quite remember. A large generator is just so big and so inefficient, whereas these nice little small generators are perfect. And with the rug glitch, you can squeeze them in, push them right up against that, like they're actually sunken in. That wasn't my intent. The floor is actually crooked. I was trying to line it up with the floor, as you can see, and the floor is crooked, but it is what it is. Nobody will notice because it's all going to be covered up. This entire power area is going to be completely protected. We just keep on doing this for a little bit longer, and then we will wire this bar up. Now we're not going to be putting any defences in yet. We probably should. I mean, we've got 20 defence. By the time we've finished this session, we'll have, I think it's about 25 food and about 33 water. In fact, I know it will be 33 water, sorry. And that's asking to be attacked if you've only got defense of 20. But we don't need to worry about that just yet. If they attack, they attack. I'll be off busy doing other things anyway. And we can always just come back and repair it. It's not the end of the world. And as you can see, there is 1, 2, 3, 4 generators along the length of that single floor piece. And we can do that 4 deep. So that's 16 generators in a very small space, which is absolutely fantastic. So, that's right. Yep, we are now going to wire up the actual water generators. And what I'm going to do is stick one of these nice little ceiling-based conduits as soon as I can find a place for it. Yeah, come on. No, I don't want that. There, okay, it's in place. And now we want to run all the cabling. We're going to use the cable glitch for this, which is where, now who showed me this? Wasteland Doverkin. I'll do a shout out to her on Twitter to let her know that I've been using her little technique that she showed. So Wasteland Doverkin said that if you do this where the wire is selected, you can basically put it anywhere and at any distance, and yep, it certainly works. I've used it extensively now. I didn't know it existed until I saw the video from her. So thank you very much for that. And so we now have 33 power, 33 water, sorry. Not quite sure what I'm looking at here. I think I'm trying to suss out where to build. Because we're going to, now that we've got the power and the basic power and the water in place, we are going to set up the farming area. Now, if you watch the planning video, I am going to build it on a platform. And the idea is to get 36 food. And we're going to use the garden plots and stick them on top of this platform. And each garden plot can handle 9 carrots, which is 4.5 food. So we do need quite a few of them, but it's easy enough to do. And because the settlement is going to have 24 settlers when it's finished, that will mean that there's plenty of excess food, either for the player to come and grab when they need them, although this isn't survival mode, so food's not really important. In survival mode, it would be brilliant to have extra food everywhere you go, but no, this isn't survival mode. I decided building in survival mode was not the way to go. It's just too difficult, too painful. My actual characters that I play are all survival mode. I no longer play any character non-survival mode except this building character. So it's yeah, I'm hooked on survival mode. But for building, it's just not practical. You've got no fast travel, so it's too hard to get resources and so on. I'm sure there's some sucker out there that will decide to do a complete fantastic building series in survival mode. Good luck to them, and I hope they retain their sanity, because it would drive me mad having to run across the map, grab a whole lot of resources, and then run back. So you're just trying to get these all fairly lined up. They don't have to be perfect. And once these are in place, we'll tidy it up a bit and put a nice little fence around it and a bit of protection. And this whole settlement, as you will have seen if you watch the planning video, will have complete walling. There's going to be extensive walls all the way around, including towers for defense, guard towers and so on. So we'll just get this one done, and then we'll speed it up a little bit, just so that we don't have to sit there watching me plant carrots, because, you know, who wants to watch someone plant carrots over and over and over again? You know, it's kind of like, yeah, anyway. Once the carrots are planted, and I actually ran out, and I ran out after picking these ones up again, and I will finish the rest later. But what we want to do then is actually assign people, and the easiest way in a new settlement like this to assign people, rather than wandering around and trying to select them and then take them over to the part that you want them to do, is to build one of the new terminals that came in the Vault-Tec workshop, which allows you to assign settlers, and you'll see that shortly. Initially I think I was looking at and seeing if I could find all the people, and no, they're assigned to the bar. That one's already assigned to food, and as you can see, they're happily walking up. So, alright, what are we doing? Not quite sure what we're doing. Building the terminal. Duh. Of course, I just talked about the terminal. So we're going to build it up here, because eventually this will be all enclosed. At the roof level that you can just see to my left, that is going to be where the floor for the settlers' living space will be. So it's going to be quite high up. And can we, yep, cool. The wire connects nicely. We'll just pop in here. And you select find jobs and assign to farming. And we'll assign 5. That means that we will have 6 people in total. And once we have enough carrots, that will be 36 food, because each settler can handle 6 food. Carrots are worth half, so yeah, it will be really, it's a very efficient way of doing your food. And get rid of these things, I think. Yep. Just so that they're not confused. They all go up to where they are supposed to go up to. And that's pretty much it. We are done for this first stage. So, just checking that they look to be assigned. Yep, they all pretty much assigned. And, yeah. And we'll just finish off, put a couple of extra beds in and stuff. But that's pretty much it for this session. The next one will be starting on the walls, because obviously having everything exposed is going to be bad, and we may even do the defense at the same time, simply because the settlement does get attacked a lot. I don't know why, but it does. So this has been Smellbads Gaming at Outpost Zimonja in our next Let's Build, and yeah, it's going to be fun to finish this one. It's a small settlement, but we'll get there and make it really, really awesome, I hope. So if you've enjoyed this video, please do hit like. It's much appreciated. Share with your friends if you think that they'll be interested in building inside Fallout 4. Settlement building's quite cool. So yeah, hit that like, share with your friends, and if you would like more content like this and be notified of the follow-up sessions, please do hit that subscribe button. Thank you very much.